All right, what's up, YouTube? So we're here now with the Green Del Sol project, and give you a couple updates what we're doing with it and what's going on with it. Obviously, not going to turbo it or nothing crazy like that right now. We're just trying to bring her back from the dead. She had been sitting 5 or 6 years or so in a farm field, completely neglected. As you know, one of the worst things you can do to a vehicle is let it sit, other than maybe wrap it around a tree. So let me give you a couple updates on what we've done here. One of the things was this had an AM cold air intake that came down into here, and the filter was absolutely horrible. Yeah, here it goes right here. I don't know what the hell they did to this filter, but yeah, needless to say, this thing has seen better days. Save me a clamp. I'm not going to let nothing go to waste like that, right? The other thing that's happened with this was the alternator seized up. I tried to free it up while I was in here. It just wouldn't come loose. Just would not come loose. So, like I said, I had this other alternator. Came in that black Del Sol on that Z6, and I'm using the Y8 alternator, obviously, because it's an OBD2. So this one works great. Spins freely. I'll be throwing this one in. She's been quite the pain to get out. As anybody that knows, alternators on Civics aren't the funnest job to do. They're not like the H&F series where they sit real easy up in front. So, you know, pulling the axle out that, you know, on a car that's been sitting seized, and, you know, it's got a lot of surface rust on it. So another thing I did is trying to get that axle out, which is buried over there in that pile of shit. The driver's axle in here had to bang it out so bad with the air hammer and everything else that she basically mushroomed. So again, got another axle from the Black Deli out there, and that one's in great shape. So now it's just a matter of trying to get that bolt out, as you already know, that holds in the right in there, that bolt that holds out the alternator bracket. That's been a pain for a little while. Here's one of the things I didn't know up until just recently, though, when I was pulling out the, as you know, with some of the suspensions pulled apart here. Like we're missing a strut. Thought this thing had coilovers when I briefly looked at it. And it did. It had your cheap eBay coilovers. And not only that, but they were broken, which would explain why the front of the car was sitting so low. And they're broke on both sides. Well, it just so happened that I had a set of 4 of these, you know, $40 eBay coilover, you know, that comes with the cup and the spring for a Civic. And I never used it for my Civic because I'm not going to put this shit on my EK or nothing. I'd get some decent ones at least. But I had a set of 4 of these because I just needed the cups for my, if you guys remember the Audi van that was on the channel, I had lowered tin springs on there, and I couldn't get a hold of any factory regular springs, and I wanted to raise it back up, so I used a cup on the lowering springs that were on that van. And yeah, so I just happened to have a set of these sitting around, so we'll be able to get the suspension back up to par. But these are busted as well. Well, I suppose you can't see that, but anyway, so we replaced the air intake. Oil was pretty dark, but I mean, she still ran. I replaced that. We're going to get the alternator done, get the spring swapped out. I threw a new battery in it, or a newer battery. It's actually not that new, but it's a good battery at least. Got some of this dents out. If you remember, there was a big dent here. This stuff, I'm going to have to heat this up with a heat gun and see if I can work it out a little bit better. She needs a corner light, and then a fucking workload of stuff. This tint's got to get all stripped down. The back window on this thing is motor doesn't work, so I got another one from the Black Deli. We'll get that going. I don't know if I really like this wheel. It's got the quick detach on it. Don't know if I really like the gauge cluster. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not bad. I might keep the gauge cluster, but this thing's got to need a major detailing. But the exhaust is in decent shape. It does have a factory original cat on it, which means, seeing as how I live in Upper Michigan, we'll be gutting that out and making a couple bucks off of that and straight pipe this. And, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and show you it fire up here. Go ahead, bud. Oh, wait, before you do that, the clutch issue. So it turns out that the master was fine, the slave was fine, the lines all were good. It just needed to be flushed. What do you call it? Yeah, flushed out. So I flushed all the old fluid out and rebled the whole clutch system, and it's working good now. So she shifts into gears real nice and easy, starts up and all that. Go ahead, fire her up. She's got some kind of exhaust. I don't know if these ones are eBay or what. I had a new O2 sensor put in right before it was dead. Probably had the cap and rotor done at some point in time. Power steering. AC even works in this, which is awesome. And then I'll show you the exhaust here. Probably some eBay shit. Yeah, the engine runs great. Yeah, she's good. She's good. So, yeah, I got a little rattling back there on the exhaust, but we're good on that. Or else it might have been the alternator actually rattling because I got it kind of half cocked in there. Anyways, let's go out and check the Civic. I'll give you an update on that real quick. And
you got the keys for that?
Yeah, the keys. You want to run and go grab those real quick? Yeah. Okay. So, maybe they're actually in there. Nope, they're not in there. So I took this on a 2-hour round trip drive out of town, and she ran great. One of the issues, though, well, two issues. One, pretty quick fix. Both of them are pretty quick. The exhaust, even though we welded it up yesterday and took one of the clamps out and actually solid welded the exhaust towards the rear of the exhaust system. And if you don't know, this is a 3-inch straight back. So it comes down off of this and just 3-inch back on a Vibrant Stealth muffler at the tail. Unfortunately, with 3 decent-sized kids and 2 adults in the front, she was sagging a little bit and scraping pretty nasty on the way up there. And these roads are smooth up here. I couldn't imagine if I lived in a city that had shit roads. I'd probably ripped my exhaust half off. But yeah, I fixed the alternator belt issue, squealing, that's done. She ran beautiful though, even got good gas mileage and all that. I got the tune on there. I did put HTS on there, and there was quite a few hiccups I had to deal with to get that on here, and even to get the, well, I mean, it's just more or less drivers and shit like that. Resetting the ostrich too and shit like that. I'll go through all that on a video soon once I get a little bit better hang of it and can just set up a real quick base map. But I'll show you this thing running and starting up. Got that big fat ground wire on there because you don't want to have ground issues, you know. Make sure she ain't in gear, bud. So, yeah, she's running good. I all fresh fluids, nothing's leaking. Nothing's going crazy. Speaking of which, you want to check to make sure this little vacuum hose is on the back of this. Yeah, it's still on there. So, got a little bit of a two-step going on, but I'm going to turn this off here. Okay. The other issue I'm having besides the exhaust dragging is the turbo isn't building any boost at all. You give her full beans, she sits at 0. There's a pretty good, easy reason for that. And I don't know if you picked it up on the camera here, but she's dumping exhaust out pretty heavily out of this. And what it is I put to try to get this as low as possible. I did that inner spring underneath the cup, the diaphragm and cup. There's an inner spring that helps actually push it open more. and then I put one single spring on the main part underneath this main cup right here. So it should be really low boost, but unfortunately I think what happened is the set screws that hold that shaft in for the main valve in there didn't grab it enough, and so that whole valve is just sitting wide open, dumping anything that tries to build boost. So that's one issue. I just got to pull this out. I might just take that helper spring all the way out and see if she's sitting at about a 6 to 8 pound boost level, and then I can actually, and then like I said, I'll get the Honda tuning suite all set up and do a little video from that. I'll get a nice map set up and tune it a little bit, and then I'll just go from scratch, and I'll do a video from that, actually going from scratch, including mentioning some of the hiccups I had to deal with. So, but yeah, that's the deal. I'm really itching to get some suspension on this thing lately. It's feeling so floaty. It's the stock suspension, stock bushings, everything just kind of feels, it goes down the road straight, but she just feels kind of like a loose bitch. So got this Honda outboard I'm working on too. But yeah, so once I get this one all wrapped up here, god damn, it stinks in here. Oh. Air compressor took a shit today. I gotta fix that. Oh man, it is smoky. Once I get done wrapping this up, I have that Accord wagon. I got to do a what you call oil leak fix. Other than that, it's got some leaky tires on. I'm gonna turn around and get that fixing out of here. I don't know if I've done too much on these Accords I got here, but I got this Accord right here. It's got a F22 VTEC in it, and then I got this Accord here that's got a 6-cylinder. Yeah, so I'll update you on all that. Gonna do something with this. I'm gonna rebuild this Y8. Gonna polish up the crank real good, make sure she's nice and within spec. Throw the factory rods and pistons back in her, check the ring gaps and all that, and then I'll slap on that good Y8 head and basically put a good Y8 motor back together with the matching tranny. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that clutch or not, because I kind of like that clutch. No, I guess I'll throw that in there, whatever. But once I get that Y8 together, I'll be able to stuff that under here, and then probably go ahead and rebuild this B20, which that only needs valve guides redone, and that whole engine is in good shape there. Then we're going to pull out and do this this high compressor F22 build and actually get the G23 done. And I'm sure you guys have been patiently waiting on that one, because that's one of the more popular videos on his channel, the disassembly of the G23. So I think it'd be good to do a detailed video of absolutely putting that one together from, well, probably not from scratch, because the bottom end of block's done on that F23. And already got good pistons and brand new, pistons, rings, and obviously all bearings, main bearings, rod bearings are all new on that shit too. So I maybe got 15 miles in that whole block, because the head, if you remember, was leaking. It wasn't milled properly with the refab shit I got from eBay. So yeah, that's the update. Busted springs, busted alternator, shit air filter, and this one will be ready to rock and roll. And as far as plans for this, I don't know. Maybe make this the wife's little daily that she wants to use just to run in the store and play with, whatever. Put it up for sale. I got a couple people that are interested in it and say, hey, you're going to get rid of it, let me know. But we'll see. We'll see. I might want to clean up the bodywork a little bit on it. If I do get rid of it, make it look real nice. Snatch all that garbage-ass purple tint off the windows and actually give it a decent tint job. And, yeah. Anyways, we'll catch you guys later. And leave me a comment if you got any questions. See ya.